be Peter Nygard's own version of Ghislaine Maxwell. A new allegation is being made and naming a possible madame in all of his sex trafficking schemes. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about Peter Nygard, a fashion mogul that was extradited from Canada to the United States. I broke it down in a pretty thorough video. It's one video back. If you need to catch up, go catch up, come back to this one. There's a new lawsuit that spills all the beans. Stay right there. We're going to go through it. Unprecedented times call for unprecedented preparedness tools. I keep this baby in my Jeep. This is the Fighter Flare flashlight. This is a professional grade, tactical, ultra bright flashlight. It's entirely solar powered, so I never have to worry about batteries dying when I need it most or plugging it into my wall to get an outlet charge. The Fighter Flare flashlight also comes with a life-saving emergency strobe setting along with 4 other unique life-saving modes, along with the life-saving fire starting ignition lighter on the bottom. The Fighter Flare flashlight can also be seen from over 500 meters away because it comes with 800 lumens. The Fighter Flare flashlight comes with all of this and more. Get the Fighter Flare flashlight by clicking the link in my description below. Any big elite sex trafficker always needs help. They are not going to do this by themselves. They always have enablers. They have the recruiters, the madames, the assistants, and this may be one of the first details coming out about Peter Nygard and his enablers, his troops that did the dirty deed of recruiting and coercing young girls. Let's take a dive into these details. Coming from Winnipeg Free Press, Nygard top girlfriend niece accused in Florida, California lawsuits. Before I even get into the article, let me just caveat that all particular individuals mentioned in the article and in the lawsuit are innocent until proven guilty. I just gotta insert that due to us being in 2020 and having to worry about particular technicalities. Okay, now that that's mentioned, a Florida woman is suing fallen fashion mogul Peter Nygard's top girlfriend, Instagram model 𝐜𝐴𝐵 Medeiros, claiming she lured her and other women to his Bahamian estate to be raped. In a lawsuit filed in Florida in October, the woman, identified as Jane Doe, alleges she was 18 years old. She was an 18-year-old aspiring model in 2010 when Medeiros invited her to a party in Miami with the ultimate intention of trafficking her to Nygard. I am going to go through the actual lawsuit, so this will be it'll be a pretty decent lengthy video, but I'm going to hold this at the end just to get you guys to the juicy details, and then, you know, if you can opt to stay with me here if you want to know more. Medeiros, the lawsuit alleges, enticed Jane Doe, to join her in the Bahamas for a fun party weekend at the home of her friend who owned a fashion company. Once at Nygard's Bahamian compound, Medeiros, that's 𝐜𝐴𝐵 Medeiros, told Jane Doe she would have to have sex with Nygard and that sex with Nygard wasn't that bad and she would really be fast and easy. When Jane Doe refused to have sex with Nygard, Medeiros abruptly left the Bahamas, abandoning Jane Doe at the compound, the lawsuit alleges. While isolated and confined within the Nygard compound, Nygard raped Jane Doe, and the lawsuit alleges and gave her $500 the following morning as payment. Medeiros actively recruited Jane Doe, and other women from Nygard to rape as part of his sweeping international sex trafficking venture, the lawsuit alleges. Medeiros, the lawsuit says, was a full-time salaried Nygard employee and for her services was provided with plastic surgery, stem cell injections, jewelry, luxury automobiles, and an American Express card with nearly no limit. Medeiros was one of Nygard's many girlfriends who were in fact paid sex workers, the lawsuit alleges. So let me pause there. If you do go back to my previous video on this, the charges against Nygard does mention this, that he would basically dub any of these victims as a girlfriend, and he would even put them on the payroll. He would utilize his fashion company, his fashion empire, and he would front for what he was doing for his sex trafficking schemes. Medeiros, who the lawsuit alleges lived in Nygard's Marina del Rey compound for at least 5 years, was for many years considered Nygard's top girlfriend based on her ability, willingness, and proclivity to lure, entice, coerce, and defraud young women to meet Nygard so that Nygard could ultimately rape them. In August of 2019, as sex abuse allegations mounted against Nygard, Medeiros joined Nygard at his Falcon Lake home to do damage control, the lawsuit alleges, and was instructed to falsely claim she was always with him as an alibi. Jane Doe, the lawsuit alleges, didn't feel safe to come forward with her allegations until a class action lawsuit was filed against him and the FBI launched an investigation. In a separate lawsuit filed in California last month, another alleged Nygard co-conspirator, niece, Angela 𝗕𝗫𝗯, is accused of trafficking young women for Nygard to rape. So let me just, I believe this is what the article is saying, but I believe it's saying that Peter Nygard's niece, Angela 𝗕𝗫𝗯, was also a madame, a recruiter, if you will. So just the wording got a little bit confusing for me, but I believe that's what it means, that his niece was also an enabler, recruiter, madame. Allegedly. According to the lawsuit, April Telek was working as a model in 1993 when 𝗕𝗫𝗯, an acquaintance, convinced her to speak with Nygard on the pretext he was interested in her modeling his signature line. And there's the lawsuit as well. And you know what I'll do is I will go through the lawsuits in 2 different videos. So rather than keeping it in this video, I'll go through the lawsuit in 2 separate videos. So that way it can be paced out. All right. That's a better idea, I think. April Telek was provided a plane ticket to Winnipeg and told she would be staying at the Nygard Company's executive suites, the lawsuit alleges. Angela 𝗕𝗫𝗯 picked April Telek up from the airport when she arrived in Winnipeg, knowing that Nygard intended to rape and or sexually assault her, the lawsuit alleges. April Telek was dropped off at Nygard's Notre Dame Avenue warehouse, where Nygard allegedly took her to his private apartment and prevented her from leaving. Nygard, the lawsuit alleges, drugged Telek and repeatedly raped her over the course of 2 days. This man is a monster. Go back to my last video and learn about the charges. He held girls against their will, drugged them if they didn't want to have sex with them, and it's monstrous. Telek alleges she escaped the apartment when Nygard fell asleep. When Telek later told 𝗕𝗫𝗯 of the alleged attack, 𝗕𝗫𝗯 said, "I watched the tape. You didn't fight back that hard," the lawsuit alleges. 𝗕𝗫𝗯, who lives in California, has been a key conspirator with Peter Nygard for decades and has been a key cog in his vast sex trafficking network, the lawsuit alleges. As a full-time Nygard employee, 𝗕𝗫𝗯 has been instrumental in knowing, aiding, abetting, facilitating, conspiring, and participating in Nygard and his company's sex trafficking conspiracy, the lawsuit alleges. 𝗕𝗫𝗯, the lawsuit alleges, has paid victims hush money and arranged for them to receive abortions and medical treatment for sexually transmitted diseases. Since Nygard's companies went into receivership, she was conspired to steal and hide the company assets, says the lawsuit. The allegations have not been proven in court. Nygard has continued to maintain his innocence, alleging he is the target of a vast conspiracy against him. Well, it's going to be a pretty darn big mixed conspiracy of multiple women and girls from different parts of the world who allege the same thing. So, all right, what I'm going to do is in the next 2 videos, I will go into the alleged complaints against these two alleged madams, alleged recruiters, what the lawsuit breaks down and what it alleges that they did to them, to the plaintiff. So if you're interested to see what these lawsuits entail, then stick around for the next two videos. They will be focused separately on each lawsuit that we see in front of us. And by the way, if you think I do a good job and you would like to see me continue, please consider going to NatlyDenise.com/donate. This is my full time. I am living on faith right now that I will get these lights still paid, dinner still served on my table, and still have a roof over my head. So you are my employer, and I would appreciate anything that you feel given on your heart. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Look out for the next few.